Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another Echo Means Business IGTV Live. We'll, like we always do, give it a couple minutes for people to hop in and join and see what we got going on. But thanks so much for joining us again on another one of these Monday night live streams. Go ahead, comment in the chat. I want to know how your Monday's going where you're joining us from, and just what's going on. You know, we're gonna have a fun chat today about must-haves for a good season. So let me know about the season that you're having. Love to connect with everybody in the chat here, and we'll do the best job that we can in these group chats. Obviously, the solo episode we had last week is a little more conducive for just going through the chat, but we're going to do that. So everybody, comment, ask your questions, and then, we're doing a giveaway, which we're going to try something out real quick. We've got a little soundboard set up here. So when you hear this noise, we're doing the giveaway, but we're talking about it. We're getting excited. So you get ready when you hear that noise. It's going to be exciting. So welcome, everybody, to another Echo Means Business IGTV Live here on a Monday night, where we're going to be talking about must-haves to help you have a good season. Last week we talked about budgeting, and that was a solo episode, and tonight I've got a couple fun guests, fellow Echo Means Business User Advisory Group members. So get these guys on here in a minute or two, but go ahead. I want to see what everyone's doing in the chat here while I get these guys on. Oh, man, we've got so many awesome comments in here. I got Pablo in here. We got my friend Solid Ground Landscaping. This is great. Oh, Edison's in here. Hey, buddy, how are you? I hope you're having a great week. That's awesome. Texas Works Lawn Care. All right, let's see what we can do here to get some people on. And hey,
What's up,
we
Mike?
got Mr. Evan in here and Mr. Nick. We got one more that we've got to sneak into the call here. But hey guys, welcome.
I'm ready to go.
So while we're waiting for Mr. Scott here to join us, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hi, guys.
We'll
Thanks, Mike. My name
here.
is Evan Lindman. I'm an owner and operator of E&D Lawn Care in Livonia, Michigan here. I do a lot of grass cutting. Like, I mow a ton of grass. Today, I actually mowed 17 lawns, kind of your postage stamp lawns. I did a aeration, so I'm back in the full swing of things. It's great to be part of this group. And, yeah, I eat, sleep, and breathe grass. So love what I do. The UAG is a great group, and we just want to help people grow their lawn business and just be a light in a lawn care community. So, yeah.
Oh, right on, man. That's awesome. That's great context for everybody there. And then we got Mr. Nick, the conspiracy in the truck here. Tell me more about you, sir, for everybody who hasn't got to meet you yet.
I'm Nick Phillips with P&H Lawn Care. I'm a solo operator here in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I do all residential mowing, but I also offer landscaping, small tree trimming, stuff like that. I try and keep it to where I'm your one-stop shop. I don't take on too many customers that I can't handle. That way I can provide them. They're not looking elsewhere for other companies to come in and do stuff. They've got me, and I want to keep it that way.
They've got me, and I want to keep it that way. Awesome. Perfect. And then we've got Mr. Scott joining us here as well. And go ahead and introduce yourself. I know we got a little echo here.
Hey guys, it's Scott from Landscapes by Acme. I have been in the business for 27 years in Swanton, Ohio, not far from Toledo, Ohio. Just today we went out and did a couple mulch jobs, planted a bunch of arborvitaes. So I run a crew on a normal daily basis of a couple guys. So.
Right on. That's perfect context. Hey, Scott, we're getting a little bit of an echo on your end. Can we have you hop off and rejoin and see if that kind of fixes that real quick? Clickety click click. Awesome. All right. Well, we deal with that for a second. We'll call in Audible, and I'll just stream through the chat here for a second. Man, we've got so many people on here. This is so great. I love that people join us. Oh, yeah, we got South Florida. We got Tino from Texas. We got the Jar Twins. We got Richie Plemons in the house, the legend himself. We got Hoarding Yardsters. Oh, man, if there's ever somebody who always wins every giveaway. Oh, he said giveaway. Oh, air horn. Which, by the way, we're having one of those later, so everyone better stay tuned, because when I ask the question, whoever answers it first is going to win one of these limited edition Echo blacked out black on black blowers that I know I've got. I think the other guys in the chat have had here, and so why don't you guys tell everybody about the blower while I deal with some technical stuff here. I'll let one of you do that.
Well, my blower was number 37 out of 250, so it is a great blower. It apparently back in the day from my research, it was a pretty good just starter commercial blower. Nothing like the 9010T, but it's still a great blower for your average lawn care business. So yeah, I mean that's that.
I haven't even taken mine out of the box yet. I'm like trying to keep it. It's like a baseball card. You don't want to take it out of the wrapper or something, but so I have no idea what number it is. But I've had a 580T blower since 2018, and yeah, of course it's not a 9010, but it's a great blower. I mean, just your grab and go, just to clear off the driveway or something, and it's still on its original air filter. I'm embarrassed to say, and it still fires up first, second pull. So it's a great blower.
Right on. Yeah, that's I admittedly haven't even taken mine out of the box yet. I don't know. I feel like it's like, do you want to take a limited edition piece of equipment and go use it, or go put it to work in the field? Like you said, yours is going to have a special number on it, like Evan said. So this is going to be great. I'm just telling you, later we're going to hit giveaway. Just saying, it's gonna be a real good time. So anyway, I want to give a shout out to our buddy DS Lawn and Landscape. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's awesome to have you here. And admittedly, we're having a little tech issue with Scott here, so we're just gonna ride this one out and kind of dive in, the three amigos with me, Evan, and Nick here, and we'll see if we can just get Scott back in, change on the fly, hockey style here. So tonight we're talking about must-haves to help you have a good season. So these are essential tools, or maybe moreover some ideas that are going to get you where you need to be. Maybe this is stuff you're already doing. Maybe this is stuff that you could just do a little bit differently. And so these are one of these fun conversations where, worst case scenario, you get a little golden nugget. Best case scenario, you come away with some advice that really adds some momentum to your season here. I know we've given everybody an actionable step every week. That way everyone feels like they have something to really implement in their business. And, last week's was to put the odds in your favor and to focus on your numbers and how they change, and just tune out the noise and, do you, and focus on what makes you money. And so I think you'll hear some of that come up in what we're going to talk about tonight. And then actually to end, I've asked everybody to give their own actionable steps. So we'll actually kind of get a bonus couple. So hopefully that really gives everybody a good takeaway. But I'll go to my fellow Michigander here, Mr. Evan. What do you think is a must-have for you in your spring season that you think would be really helpful for everybody listening live tonight, and then obviously listening at a later date as this continues on for people's
sure, Mike.
listening
Thank you for
pleasure
letting
here.
me lead off here. So kind of a must-have for me, and it's been through experience though too, must have to have a good season is to actually be productive and active and keeping up with your body and being in shape during the off season. Our bodies in the lawn and landscape industry are our tools. That's what we use to make money. And of course, you don't have to be a gym rat, but just taking care of your body. It's like we take care of a garden. We pull out the weeds. And this is from experience. I had someone who worked with me for over 10 years, and he was pretty sedentary and stationary during the winter. And he would come back every year and start mowing with me. And the first month, I'm sitting there shaking my head. I'm like, this guy's losing a ton of weight in about a month, and he's just slowing me down because I'm kind of paying for him to get back into that lawn care, weed whip, type of cardio shape. No knock on bigger people though, but you just take care of your body, during the off season is key to really, to really have a good season to, to be quick when you're weed whipping. I'm a solo operator. And so, well, it's probably why I'm a solo operator. See, you got to be quick and fast. So taking care of your body and getting enough sleep is crucial in, this line of work. It's
very, very, very good tips. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm listening to this, and you can almost see I'm like blushing a little bit because this week I haven't done a very good job of getting rest. And to be honest, I didn't really feel the best, and it was kind of a Monday for me this morning. And a little bit into the afternoon. It kind of rallied. The day rallied, and we ended up well. And obviously, I'm with you guys tonight, so I'm obviously doing just fine. Nothing to complain about. But, I think I would have had a little bit better of a Monday morning if I got a little bit more rest. And not just over the weekend, but, over the winter. I more work and opportunities came onto my plate than I was expecting, and I just decided to get greedy and eat it all and just have it all. But here I am in the spring, and I admittedly am not all that well rested. And so, that's something that we could try and get more rest now, but sometimes, this is some of the tips that we're going to give that, it might be easier said than done. And so, if you're me, I got to kind of maybe look a little further out and try and schedule some time, maybe a weekend or just, a half day or something like that to just kind of recharge, take my dog for a walk, do something positive like that. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah,
Evan?
I mean, it really is. I just don't think people I mean, I wasn't calling out you, Mike, because you're the finely tuned machine here, and I'm definitely not a gym rat, but just people. I mean, the person who I had work with me, he'd get 4 hours of sleep and then come weed whip with me 40 hours a week. I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, you're not taking care of your body. And this, I mean, obviously with lawn care, I average 20,000 steps a day. And so, last thing and sometimes I have to mow 6 days a week, but for the guys who are, with the crew, we're mowing, Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday. Hey, if you have a Saturday, have some free time, go for a walk. I mean, I'll walk your dog, or take someone's dog for a walk. Go for a bike ride. It's really the conditioning, weed whipping, and I guess mowing conditioning is really key to just save money and time though too. Like you don't have to be like a rail, but taking care of your body can really go just a long way. And a segue into that though too for kind of another tip for like success is to bring water and bring food. I've had people who work with me and they bring a bottle of water and a banana, and we're 5 hours mowing up a 14-hour day. I'm like, bro, no wonder you're keeling over laying there on the cement. I've had a buddy who laid on my trailer gate before and on the cement, and this is probably 12 years ago. That's why I work solo now and alone, but bringing just foodie snacks all day to just kind of munch on is really important, because I think too, I get very, kind of just depleted and low on energy when you have a 14 house stop. So I'm constantly just drinking water and popping small, food. That's really important. People don't really understand how much you need to, bring food. I mean, I bring like a steak dinner out there on the field if I could, but it's just really, really important to bring food. And not a lot of guys in this industry, do it. Like I bring food, but I'm not sitting here in my trailer, like, just gorging. I'm out there mowing. You'll see me with like food in my mouth, mowing. So it's really important too.
Yeah. So I see we got Solid Ground Landscaping. Do you use Liquid IV? I know I actually love that stuff. My girlfriend is like a big advocate of that. She does some stuff in the migraine community, and it's very helpful for people that have those ailments because hydration can play into it, and it's a way to kind of triple down on your water intake. So go comment, let me know. I want to know more about that because that's something I use. Evan, do you or Nick, do you guys do anything besides like just water, especially when it gets hot? Do you switch to like a Gatorade or some type of electrolyte?
I got a
something
mix
or other, or?
in the cooler of Gatorade and waters. I usually go through 6 or 7 bottled waters a day and 3 or 4 Gatorades, but I'm a firm believer in the liquid IV also. Whenever we hit July, August, and it's 90 degree and the humidity's out the roof, that liquid IV it's almost like an adrenaline boost. I mean, you mix it with your bottled water, chug it, and you can actually feel your batteries just charge back up.
What's your favorite flavor?
That little lime top. Yeah. My gets me an assortment. I just dump it in there. I don't really pay attention to it. But the lime is good.
I'm always a sucker for the guava, or their new mojito one is very good. I highly recommend it. What about
probably the liquid IV? You could probably pop 3 of those a day, and be good. That's water and Powerade, and every once in a while you take a nice like Mexican Coke or like a Coke. Oh, it hits the spot there on the day because that's what they're called. It's the glass Coke bottles, and so those hit the spot, and it really can boost up your blood sugar there. So I mean, I don't drink pop, but when client like hands you a nice Coke, you're like, why not? You chug it down, you don't even feel a thing. But I always say hydrate with water and liquid IVs. Maybe EMB can be sponsored by them, like the Joe Rogan show is. Maybe I get EMB on there too. So I mean, pretty sweet.
Yeah. Get everybody a So Right and some Liquid IV and all the other Joe Rogan stuff. We got Pablo in the chat who recommends some coffee, Red Bull, and cigarettes. I don't know. I don't know, especially the last one. I'm not a smoker, so I'm gonna pass on that. But I admit I've seen a lot of employees back when I had staff over the years who it was at least 2 of the 3, if not all 3 at once.
I've seen guys weed whipping with smokes, and like they have a cigarette hanging on, they're like whipping. I'm like sitting there, okay, you're the problem. So
no.
Oh man. Richie says I'm more like the on grease trailer wheel bearing. Living on a lick and a promise. Yeah, right on. Living on a prayer. Dude, this chat is awesome. You guys are very, very, very funny. Very funny. Yeah. Okay, Stalground says yes, the area service is constantly 90+ degrees, so we hydrate the day before. Dude, you got to. Alex Carey says Gatorade. Richie says in the military we had the IV Sunday night meetings. Does that mean you guys literally like what's it called, banana bagging, where you all like IV like nutrients right into your arm? Have you guys ever done that, Evan or Nick?
No, never.
I've never done it, but I've really thought about it. Like winter events, like really long ones, I'll get really dehydrated afterwards. And it's like, I don't know if it's still a thing, but in one of the high-end communities I worked in, like the thing to do was to have this like doctor come to your place and like give you this IV of like nutrients to supercharge you. And I had like a client that was into it, and I almost was like, can we get the 29 or 2 for $50 special on that? Like I want to try, but I never did. So comment below if you know what I'm talking about. I know it was like made famous by the cast of the Jersey Shore years ago because you drink a lot of alcohol.
Doing that like in the bigger cities? If you're hungover, you can go to like an IV bar and cure the hangover.
It's a shot of
what I'm talking about, man. It wasn't because I'm like a booze hound or anything. It's just because like sometimes I like sweat it out too much and I can't drink enough. Or like if you're out working, you drink too much.
I know that one all too well.
But COVID world, where's the bathrooms, right? Where's the bathroom? Rich,
us lawn care
he says,
guys
what
need
the
to get
heck,
creative
guava?
when you gotta pee. So.
You know what? We'd like to welcome the Amazon workers to what we've been doing for a long time, and I'll leave it at that. All right. So on that note, let's turn it over to Nick. and see what his must-have.
I'm actually going to feed off of Evan with the physical part of it. I have to go into each season with a plan. That's my must-have: a plan, a physical plan, and a financial plan. Being a solo operator, you have to look at the lawns that you're going to be caring for that season. Like last year, I had 3 lawns side by side, which is great route density. But the 3 lawns, by the time I got through with them, I was spent. So I was too tired to go on to the next yards. But if I saved them for the end, I didn't have the energy to go to finish them out. So that, even though that's the setup that you want, physically it didn't fit into what I needed for me. So that's one part of the plan, is the physical. I want to look at my yards. How much of a toll is it going to take on me throughout the season? And when can I get it to where I can just get yards to where I can zip through them? The other part is a financial plan, because we don't get much snow in East Tennessee. So I'm not in snow removal. So I got to make sure, I'm kind of like a squirrel gathering nuts for the winter. Got to get all you can get and up through November, because January through probably the second week of March, it's a wasteland. So that's really my 2 big things.
That's great. I mean, that really kind of reiterates what we were talking about last week, where the topic was budgeting for success. So that's exactly what Nick is doing. He's putting together a plan, and then he's working it all year long, and then he's not just like suddenly getting to the end and going, oh no, I what am I gonna do? He's shocker. He spends months working the plan one step at a time, and he gets to exactly where he needs to be at the end of the year, or at least a lot closer, or maybe further. That's the beauty of a goal, is it's a metric that you can track and put yourself on a path to attaining whatever goal you're trying to achieve. So, any more thoughts on that, Nick? Is that basically what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying it always works out that way, because at the end of February you can have uh-ohs, especially if you have kids. There's going to be things that come up all the time that, okay, I need this amount of money to get me through the winter, but whatever you think you're going to have, add a percentage to it, because there's always the unexpected, especially if you have children, or there could be health issues, anything that can pop up that will cost more than what you thought it was going to be. So you can never put too much away. But by that same token, all of us have that plan in mind, and I don't know any of us that actually put as much back as we said. We started the season, we're going to put this much back come December. Come December, you went on a vacation and you bought this, you needed that, and you're like, uh-oh. So the more you can stick to that plan, the better, though.
Yeah. I mean, because you could be like Knight 9938, who has no snow removal here in Stockton, California. Yeah, there are some spots that get a lot of snow in California, but that's probably not one of them. And I know we've even got our buddy Chris Horning said not much snow removal here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah, especially if you weren't doing a lot of de-icing work. Yeah, it was a very slow year. I'm sure Evan kind of speak to that a little bit. How was your winter real quick?
I kind of got roped into doing a lot of full-time snow removal with my buddies. So a couple of years ago, I got a 2-stage Power Max snowblower. I had about 15 driveways. It would take me 20 hours to do. Now my buddies down the street, they got plows, so we basically have this kind of thing where they pat my back and I pat their back. But so I've worked 24 hours straight with them. I praise God for the Echo RB85W Salter. We got there's Tapiola Village here on 8 Mile. I'm sure you know about it, Mike. And that Salter, that spreader Salter works wonders on, hitting up city walks. So yeah, this year was really just a year of salt. We had 2 heavy slush runs for snow, and then that was just basically it. So if you're in the salt game, you're making good money. I know. So I would rather do 15 hours, of salt straight than 24, 30 hours of, plowing snow. And so I kind of want to phase out my residentials and go even more full time there with my buddies, because all your money is to be made in commercial when it comes to just doing anything. It's like snow. It's a love-hate relationship, and no complaints there on that end. But it was pretty kind of quiet, depressing winter here in Michigan. That's why I was just doing a lot of physical activities to try to be in shape for the new season, because I get I didn't know about you guys though. I mean, you guys all down there in Georgia or even Tennessee or Florida, I mean, they're like 60 degrees and it's cold, but it just these dreary days here where it gets overcast and depressed. That's why I just got to go out there and be active. And it gets depressing when you're out there, even like, removing, ice and plowing snow. So that's why it's physical fitness and, getting enough rest during the winter though. It's super, super vital though too. And important because, it's as, Nick was talking about budgeting all the way through 12 months here. And I have to learn to kind of do that though too, because I don't know about you guys, but the account gets a little bit it's like really dry grass there between January and March for some money there. That's why you got to kind of pull back there on the spending and really kind of wise up on what you do. So it's feast or famine, but snow is a very love-hate relationship. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point there, Evan, is that all of us are going to be in different spots. Like I see we've got Paul, our buddy Paul in the chat here, who joined us just the other week. And, somebody like Paul has done this a long, long time. He's been taking a lot of the small steps for many years. And so it's a lot easier to set yourself up for the winter because you've been progressively doing that year over year. It's just an opportunity you have by surviving and getting extra trips around the sun, but the guys that are younger that, like an Evan here, who doesn't have decades of experience yet doing this, you've got to be realistic at where you're at in the journey, long term and short term, and but just because you put it on the budget doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen. Or like Nick was saying, there's a saying in construction that everything's going to take twice as long and twice as much money. And, that can, like you were just saying, Evan, that happens, a little over here on the house side, a little over here on the business side. And all of a sudden it's like February and you're like, come on,
oh, yeah.
Spring cleanups. Like, are we having an early spring? Like, I can't wait to get out there and clean some stuff up and spread some mulch. Because I remember there were, thankfully it's been a little bit since I've felt that pinch myself, but, that's something the Reds still do on every day. And I definitely don't forget, those college years or otherwise where, things were lean. And, I see Chris was in here talking about how he's done like Lyft and Uber and stuff. And I was teaching guitar lessons back in the day. So, one of your must-haves, I think, is just from listening to you guys talk here, is that like, aside, we're here talking about our lawn and landscape businesses and the green industry and how that's going to provide for us. But kind of like, does that really provide for us? Or is it just part of the way there and being realistic about that? And, maybe whether it's doing some things now on evenings or weekends to either get more work or do other work, or put the wheels in motion where like maybe, it's a spring rush, good, we're all busy, we're all making money, but things slow down. Evan mentioned dry grass. If a bunch of your sites aren't irrigated, what are you going to do when the grass is dry? And I know we had my friend Edison in the chat here, who was an Echo UAG guy last year. And I know he goes and works with a family member who's in the construction industry. And anytime there's gaps in his schedule, that other individual's happy to have him out there because he can, like all of us, we can always use an extra hand. And so, that's something I guess I'll kind of leave that on before we move on is like, if there are gaps that you're looking to fill, whether it's people on this chat or people in the UAG or people in your community, network, reach out, because most likely if you're a little slow, whether it's in just like a period because you don't do a lot of snow or there's not a lot of snow or whatever it is, maybe you do snow and there's not a lot of it, but your buddy does a lot of pruning and he needs an extra ground guy or something like that. And then it gives you an opportunity, like Evan was saying, to be physically fit and keep the blood flowing rather than just like sitting on the couch tearing up Netflix and not really getting to where you want to be.
I do like my steaks and my burgers and my pizza, so don't think I'm like a fit freak, Mike. I still need to take you out though, Mike. So that's on me, baby. That's on me.
I'll never say no to a delicious steak. I think everybody's heard that over the years. There's been a lot of good talks, and I've helped a lot of friends make a lot of money over some steak dinners. What about you, Nick? You a steak?
Oh yeah, I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. I'll go for a steak anytime.
And I know, so Paul's saying, Paul Kamara's saying networking is key. Ask about how to network in the house. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I want to hear from you guys. How do you network in the off season? I know the other week Paul was talking about, there's the car club and other things he's involved in. And so it doesn't have to necessarily even be green industry related. It could be a church group or something in helping out like a youth organization or, my neighbor coaches a hockey team. There's all sorts of opportunities to just get out there and meet people. And, we all, whether we like it or not, are kind of salespeople, right? So we can always get better and better at sharpening our sales skills. And on that note of talking about different skills, I said we were going to give everybody a actionable step for the week here. So we'll reverse here. I know I've gone to Evan like every time, so let's go to Mr. Nick here. I want to hear, do you have any actionable step that I know you've given a lot of great tips so far, but just anything that maybe people could literally try and do this week or over the next couple weeks in their business that you've been doing that's working real good for you?
One thing that we were just talking about, like whenever we hit those dry months, like inevitably it's August, September, we're going to hit those months where there's no rain at all. And people start asking you to skip, don't mow this week. We haven't had any rain. It's not growing. My customer base that I've had for several years know that there's a cutoff for like odd jobs. Like if you don't have your mulch jobs done, the pruning done, other stuff that they want done by about a week ago, honestly, then you're out of luck because now I'm just mowing every day. All I have time for is just to mow. But they know that they go put me on the dry season list. So do hit those dry months. Okay. They're like, hey, now is a good time to get that done. So that way, and this has worked out perfectly for me the past 2 or 3 seasons. Whenever we hit those dry months, no rain, and people are asking me to skip their yards, I hop on the projects, and that way I never have downtime. I'm busy the whole time. So I keep a client, like a to-do list, that whenever this happens, I can start at the top and work my way down until it starts raining again. So that's a good thing. And then,
dude, that is a fire tip. That is so good.
But
what else were you gonna
the other
say?
part is you're constantly evaluating your customer, like I said, before the season starts, but also, June, you guys probably know what I'm going to say before I even say it. June and July, whenever the heat starts cranking up, Chuck in a truck is going to quit showing up. Your phone's going to start ringing again, and you still have to interview those customers to find out if they're going to be a fit. Because I promise both of y'all have went through this. You're going to pull up to give an estimate. They're going to come out, and you're going, oh, yeah, I'll be here every Wednesday. I'm going to mow, I'm going to trim, I'm going to blow it down, and $60 a week. They're going to go, but my last guy was doing it for 40. You're like, oh, the guy.
I'm not your last guy.
More? Okay. So that's just something you can take with you throughout the season.
Dude, that's great. Yeah, we talked about that for those that caught last week. If not, they listen at a later date can go back and listen. We were just talking about that, where it's called knowing your numbers, and yeah, it's great to use what other people are doing as a qualifier. And now you've established whether this is going to work or not very fast. But like, just because somebody was doing something for some price really has no bearing on whether you can do it for that price. And so those are really, really, really good tips. I know Solid Ground Landscaping says bingo. Paul Camaris says good stuff there. That's what's up, man. Dude, those are great tips. I'm so thankful that you shared that for everybody, because those are those things that people need to implement in their business. It doesn't matter what size business you have. Those are the things that can make or break you, especially as a smaller guy. You know, there's a lot in there about communication. So that was really, really good. And hey, before we turn it over to Evan, just want to let everybody know we're getting pretty close to the giveaway. That's right. So we're not there yet, but we're getting real close. So, Mr. Evan, get ready to take it home here. What are you thinking is the
Actionable step on
on
my
your
end.
for
Okay, well, the problem for me is when you mow like 6 days a week, it's hard to take like a rest day to be active or go for a bike ride. But for you more normal guys there that work a nice Monday through Friday heavy hours, if you have any free time, go for a half an hour walk, go for a bike ride, go for a run just to keep up with your lawn care cardio. Like, we need to tune our bodies for our equipment. Like, I think we'll be doing a live about equipment maintenance. Well, your body needs a heavy maintenance too, so you can run the equipment properly. So that's just kind of my key takeaway. And also just bring finger foods, and bring the over amount of water, daily. Like, even if it's cold outside, still just bring like a lot of snacks, Cliff Bars, liquid IVs, fruit, just things to kind of pop in your mouth, just to kind of keep on going, because it'll give you a energy boost. I don't get these guys out there who can mow 12 hours a day and just have a bottle of water and a banana. I know they're out there, like maybe Tino. He's probably crazy. Like, you never know about that, but just some of these guys are absolutely just on just a like whole different league. But me, it's like you eat food fast while you work, and that's really the key to my success. And then a tip for guys with some downtime, what I was doing, I was making $600 a week in the month of January door dashing when we literally had no snow. So
Wow.
that's it's also a good perspective there. And I got get this, we preach route density. Well, I have route density with DoorDash too. There's a road that Mike knows. It's Haggerty Road. It's basically between 10 Mile and 6 Mile and Haggerty Road, and I would kind of work that corridor and only drive that far, because I would treat my route density lawn care knowledge like I would for DoorDash though too. So I was taking lawn care business practice and putting it, and then just being social with people, like even dropping off food. Like, I'm a guy who talks way too much. That's probably why I'm always getting home late from lawn care. I have a newborn, and my wife's like, where were you? I was talking to so and so for like a half an hour. Well, I'm sitting there. Well, anyways, there's things that translate over from doing this 13 years. I would say I successfully know how to talk to people way too much and almost maybe waste time. But the key is just tune your body, keep it in shape. A lot of prayers carried me through my business though too, and then eat a lot of good food. It's not all healthy stuff. Like today, my wife sent me DoorDash of Shake Shack, and he dropped it off there at a client's house, and then I got it because I had a 10-house stop. So there you go. Like, creative ways to get food. It's kind of like my take. It's never too late to get in shape for your business and the season. And it's never too late to bring food, guys. Don't do that. And then just really evaluate. Make the best use of the time in your off season, because as happy as I get a little bit depressed during the winter because we're no longer go. It's just like, okay, lawns are done, leaves are done, waiting for the snow, and you get that anxious panic time. Well, go to the gym, lift weights, just count others more significant than yourselves during the off season. Well, regardless of every day in life, and you'll definitely have a better off season to a regular season. So yeah.
That's great, man. Those are also very good tips, and not the stuff that maybe people would normally hear. So I think that's good to hear. You know, there's lots of talk about numbers or grind, get out there and crush it, but like you can get crushed if you don't take care of yourself. And I think you know, Evan makes a lot of good points there, as does Veggie Girl 712. Tacos are finger food. What do you guys think on that? I'm sure Tino and Ricky are going to give that 2 thumbs up each. But what about you guys? Are tacos finger food?
Oh yeah,
Nick? Yeah, I'll tell you what, tacos back in the day at Taco Bell used to be all right, but now you got to go like authentic. It just does.
We got some places here.
Thankfully, there's a place. Yep, yeah. There's a place not too far from former Echo UAG alumni Brian Fullerton. A whole bunch of his accounts.
Oh, really?
La Casita, and they have very, very,
You ever
very
been to
good
Las
tacos.
Palapas,
La
Mike?
Casita. So if you're ever in Michigan,
You ever been to Las
what's that
Palapas
again?
on Plymouth and Farmington Road there? I got to take you out there. It's authentic Mexican. Even for Michigan, it's very authentic. So,
Well, I signed me up because I was going to say if anybody's ever in Wixom, Novi area and wants some tacos, and we can talk landscaping or hockey or whatever you want, like sign me up. Especially a little time in the off season or a rainy day or something like that. You know, I know Paul was saying the other week, Paul Camara, about how that is his time to like catch a good meal or whatever. So yeah, tacos, finger food. I think Evan was referring to granola bars and stuff like that, but you know, I don't know. Tacos, I'm never gonna say no to a taco. That's good stuff. So awesome. Well, I'm gonna give my actionable step for the week, and then you know, we might have to do the giveaway after that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That way, you know, when you see, I got a whole bunch of fun stuff here. Like, you know, whoever wins the blower, when they get it, they'll be like, I don't know if you guys could hear that, that Gain the Lead Halo reference. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff on there. I full disclosure, do a little moderating on a live stream that happens weekly in the mornings for pretty big YouTuber. Can't say a ton more than that, but I'm lucky to get that opportunity. And he's got a pretty epic soundboard, and that's where I got the idea from. So if you guys don't like it, let me know, and then I can
more
drops
are better, Mike. If I can figure out how to, I couldn't make it home today, but I wanted to hook up my camera, and I can pump in sounds, you know, right to our live stream, so it could really turn up to 50, right?
Yeah, see, they've got like all these like sad ones, but they got like meme ones, like the sad violin, or like you guys didn't really like talk about anything going wrong, but we could have hit the SpongeBob fail.
Do they have the one where the guy goes, nope?
Oh gosh, no, and honestly, I feel like some of these are kind of inappropriate, so I need to be careful which one I hit here. Otherwise, we'll be canceled. But all right, so my actionable step is take what these guys said and figure out what of it is applicable to you, and then go ahead and actually write it down and put it to work in your business. And you're going to say, well, how am I going to do that? I'm so busy. And so the second part of this is I just encourage everybody to slow down a little bit this time of year. It's a spring rush. It's go, go, go. There's always a million things to do. But this is a time of year where like accidents can happen. I was just reminded the other day of a family that I know that runs a nursery. You might have seen it in some video I did for Jobber about a year ago. Very big, beautiful nursery. It's family run, and third generations like my age, and they're involved. And spring rush, and they're hustling and trying to get people in and out because they know the faster they get us out, the more money we make. And there was a little accident. He fell off the back of the truck and broke his wrist. And that going real fast to get that truck out of there really screwed up the next 6 weeks, because then all of a sudden he couldn't do nearly the help he was. So I just thought it'd be important to kind of share that with everybody. Obviously, if you're listening to this at a later date, it may not be the spring rush for you, but I just think we could always use the reminder. I hear it from my friends in the law enforcement industry that, if everyone just slowed down and paused, we probably wouldn't have half of the chaos that goes on in society. Whether it's taking a deep breath if somebody cuts you off in traffic and just chilling out, or not rushing out the door, maybe making sure that you got sharp blades on your mower, or enough oil in that mower, that way you don't have oh crap, several $1,000s fix later, right? Ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure, as my mother said. Probably still does. She said it for many years while I was growing up. I heard that all the time. So just encourage you guys to take heed on what was said here. I think there's a lot of information that shared, and is all too common with these type of things. I hear all this good stuff, but then we go to bed and then we wake up the next day and chaos ensues. And, I know these guys on the call are lucky enough to have some little ones, and they, do a great time of diverting your attention, and rightfully so, but it just makes it difficult to implement this stuff. So, slow down to speed up. You'll probably hear me say that way too many times, but it's something that I found, when I was running around and trying to make too many things happen, I wasn't making as much money as I should, versus once I've slowed down, I'm making a little bit more money, and it makes it easier, like we talked about in this call, to make it through some slower times, or government mandated shutdown, or, whatever is around the corner. We've seen it all the past 2 years, haven't we, friends? So on that note, let's have some fun. Let's do something fun here. Our friends at Echo were so kind to give away one of these awesome limited edition 580T blowers. Man, that is so cool of them to do this. Really nice that they believe in everybody in the community, and want to share, and how we can all grow, and whether it's, you're going to go use this in the field, or it's just something cool to kind of put up on the shelf, because it is a commemorative item. I think, guys,
let's go.
Giveaway time. Yeah, that's right. You guys excited?
Yeah.
Evan, Nick, you guys excited? Oh man, I gotta scroll down the chat. Oh man, there's so much stuff in here. Oh man, after the giveaway, we're gonna have to scroll through the chat and catch up before we sign off on this one, if that's cool with everybody. So, all right, so we got the limited edition PB 580T backpack blower that is gonna go to the first person in the chat that can correctly write where Echo USA's headquarters is. So it's somewhere in the U.S. You just got to write the city and state down there in the chat. And the first person that gets it, you get the blower. Oh man. So I'm waiting. We're going to see who's in the chat here. We're going to see who gets it. Oh man, we got so many people in here, guys. This is so fun. Edison, we're talking about food for a minute. You scroll back. Edison's talking about Black Rock. Tino's saying there's some good tacos in Saginaw. Oh man,
Hey,
we've got some people who are
just
pretty close.
Hey!
Pretty close. Go ahead. Oh, do we got one? Yeah. All right. I see it in here. We've got Knight 9938. I think I'm seeing it. They're the first one who totally got it. Some of you guys were close. It's close to Chicago, but the correct answer is Lake Zurich, Illinois. So congrats to Knight 9938.
All right.
You are the winner of the giveaway. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to find
That's
something new. That's gonna
great
get
story.
We played out that horn, I think, but you get the blower. That's awesome. So we'll be in touch. We'll shoot you a message after we wrap this up here, so we can get your information, and we'll get this blower to you. And I'll give the +1 that if you need any help throughout the year, you got me as a lifeline. And so feel free to reach out either at Echo Means Business or Debt Free Landscaper or Bedell Management. And if you ever need anything, blower help or otherwise, there's my little +1, because I really do care about all you guys. We're all gonna succeed. And we're all gonna get to where we need to be. So how cool is that? Giving stuff away thanks to our friends at Echo. This is awesome. This is what Echo Means Business is all about. Talking about the good stuff, giving away the good stuff. This is awesome. Oh man, we got people. Oh yeah. I see even Echo says congratulations. Melanie loves the horn. All right, maybe the horn stays. We'll just maybe that means we're gonna have to give away some more stuff. I'm just saying. So before we wrap it up, Evan, Nick, you guys got anything to add here?
Stay safe out there, guys. Yeah, take a minute, slow down, don't get hurt.
Do thorough work, sharpen your blades, stay in shape for the lawn care season. I hate seeing lawns that are not striped up well, because the people don't know how to cut or mow, or yeah. Now I'm just ranting. I'm gonna turn this into a big rant, but yeah, just bring food and water. So.
No. Yeah, those are great points, and that's what I'm saying. And if you're like, well, I don't know what that means, I don't know how to do that, reach out to Evan or I. We want to see everyone get to the top here. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys, and thank you everybody in the chat who joined us. This was awesome. We could really go through all these questions, but I'll tell you what. We're going to go through the chat afterwards, and if there's anything we couldn't get to, we'll do some type of follow-up, whether it's stories or reels, and whether it's me or the guys in the chat, or I know we couldn't get Scott on with a little technical issue here, but if you guys got anything for him, we'll do that as kind of a +1 something or other, and then we can stay connected before next week's show, where it's actually kind of an interesting topic. We're going to talk about taxes, which what taxes did we file that last week, if you're joining us real time here on April 24th. But I thought now that we've most of us have wrapped up last year, it'd be smart to talk about this year and the things that we can do. So the topic is going to be taxes, what the world's largest companies do that you can and should do for 2024 and beyond. So we're not talking loopholes. We're not talking about anything polarizing. We're not even going to care about what presidents do and don't do with tax statements. We're going to talk about stuff that you can do and stuff we can learn from the top 50 businesses in America who they can't cut any corners, because in full disclosure, they get audited every year because they have an auditor literally assigned to their business, because that's what happens if you're one of the top 50 businesses in America. So there's a lot to learn. I admittedly have an inside source who's taught me a lot over the years, and so I'm going to give you some cheat codes from the playbook on stuff that they do every year that just a lot of small businesses don't even know is a thing. And I think even if you just simmer on it, maybe don't even implement it right away, but look to do this stuff long term. It's stuff that can really help you grow, as is the stuff that we learned today. So take care. Thanks to Nick and Evan for joining us, and to Scott, even though we had a little technical difficulty. We'll see. He's going to be on a show here in a week or two, so no big deal. But take care, guys. Be safe. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you for next week's show.
See you guys.
Take care. Be good to each other.
Peace.